whistle sounds and we are ready for the final pool match in this World Cup. And Japan, well, it's a bit of a mistake at the start, and Zach Test, the winger, gets his hands on it. Early chance for the United States.
White, blue.
But there are a couple of knock-ons in there, and the first one off Japanese hands, so it'll be an American scrum in a great position. And Japan, who pride themselves on making as few mistakes as possible, untidy at the start.
I was thinking of how incredibly calm and collected Japan were in the changing room, and then their preparation just before kickoff, and clearly still asleep, because one of the facets of their game has been their detail, precision in restarts, and that was a poor start from them.
Giving away exactly 40 kilos in the scrum, Japan, but they'll keep so low, and their technique is so good. But the United States trying to get a drive on. It crumbles there, the scrum, but the United States allowed to play on and carried forward by Seamus Kelly, the centre. A crash ball coming in, I think it was Samu Manoa. But a little forward pass there gives the scrum to Japan. And some early menace, though, from the United States.
If Japan when you get this ball back, they have to put pressure on Petri at number 9. Tanaka at the scrum, very sharp. And he got his hand in there, which made Petri deliver a floaty pass. Didn't get good quality quick ball, and that forced Petri into a forward pass to Manoa. So unforced error, 2 unforced errors early on. Good pressure from Tanaka.
Interesting to watch these two front rows come together. Very different in stature. And again, keeping low at the scrum there. It's rock solid from Japan. And out it goes to Goramaru. That's a hearty thump. It'll still be United States ball, though. But a pretty useful clearance. Goramaru so composed in the ball. Now plays for Yamaha Jubilo. All their sides in Japan. Very well funded. They're, as you can tell by their names, they're sponsored by the big companies of Japan, and a lot of big name players head over there to pick up a shekel or two, perhaps towards in the latter stages of their careers. Some big names heading there after the Rugby World Cup. That one taken down nicely. Didn't look too straight, but it was Duratalo who got there. And there's Duratalo again, man who scored against Japan in that narrow victory in Sacramento in July. Palamo is the dummy runner. Instead, it's taken on by Seamus Kelly. An advantage to the United States, so Petri fires it out to Greg Peterson, and he rolls on. So a little free attack to nothing, so they'll come back for that penalty now.
Roll away, roll away.
Japan not rolling away in the tackle. A good start by the United States, and perhaps a little bit nervy from Japan.
One of their signatures has been their line speed in defence. Look at the missed tackles here. Easily getting over the gain line. So Japan not starting so well.
I think the United States, people would judge them rather harshly if they judged them on that result against South Africa, because it was very much a second string side. Look more closely, this was the side that played against Scotland and led Scotland at the half-time at Ellen Road a couple of weeks ago. Now Alan McGinty, is originally from Dublin, in fact a son of Blackrock College, a famous rugby school where Brian O'Driscoll was also a pupil. His father is the principal of Blackrock College in Dublin, McGinty. He now lives in Georgia. Plays for Life University there, and he found many points in that win over Japan in the summer, and a chance of the first 3 here. Well, the one lone voice in the crowd didn't unsettle McGinty, and the United States leads. 4.5 minutes gone, and deserve 3 points for their early pressure.
Yeah, very good start. One area that they will be looking to improve on is their line out. It is the worst in the competition, only winning 74% of their own ball, and a good start for the US.
Well, the restart from the Japanese fly half Kosei Ono. Tremendous height on it, but taken down safely enough by the United States. Just being held at the back there. Cal McFarland has his hands on it. In fact, it's Samu Manoa at the base of things. Back it comes now to Peterson. Bearded second row. And Wiles gives it on to McGinty. Good length on that one. But cantering across to
Stay here, stay, Red.
secure it. And a little bit of a fumble from Wiles, but went backwards and he gathered it anyway. And Japan thinking about the quick take, but then thinking better of it.
USA again, far too easy over the gain line. It just seems Japan are not out of the traps yet.
This is a Wing, the centre, the Australian former rugby league player, and there's Leach.
Side.
A chance for Japan to break on it. Ono goes through the fly half, little chip through for the chasing Wing, and Fujita, can he get there? Fujita might bounce for him, looking for support now. Tess takes him down, but he gets it on. Holani is there for Japan, the number 8. Japan suddenly menacing, USA offside. So advantage to Japan, but they have support. Good hands, it's going to be a try, and it is a try for Matsushima. And Kingsholm comes to life. Finished by the winger, but almost every player in the side had their say.
What do I know? Lulling us into a false sense of security. Wonderful break from Ono. And then it's just the patience. Really good miss pass. Very nice bounce. Terrific hands. Oh, a beautiful finish. The precision, the running lines. Now they're out of the traps.
Matsushima had a yellow card in the defeat against Scotland. But here, Leach is down, he's struggling, the captain. There were some great hands in that move as well, though, as you were pointing out there. The tackles were committed by America, but wasn't any panic from Japan. Draw the man, give the ball, score the try.
He doesn't look happy, but lots and lots of runners, multiple runners, and the width that Tanaka gives from scrum half confused the US defence. Oh, it's a super break.
Goromaru is right up there in the scoring stakes in the World Cup. 45 points he scored. Greg Laidlaw leads the way. I think he's a dozen ahead. It's a loose one, but just sneaks inside, so it's a 7-point try for Japan. And they lead by 4. Great response after that early pressure from the United States.
There's the bounce. Wonderful hands.
And from the hooker as well, as you should expect, their front. Good hands across the side. That was Haria, the hooker, with the final pass to Matsushima. Oh, rather drunken-looking restart taken in by Luke Thompson. Here's Leach. Seems to be fine. Good hands as well from their New Zealand-born second row. Luke Thompson there.
Perfect, play on.
To his eyes, the second row, but Japan again stringing together a few phases here. Good play, just beginning to build a bit more continuity. There is their hooker, Shota Haria.
Hey, get out now, one. Safe. Leave it 3,
Coming
lost.
in from the blue shirts. Pressure on Japan. They have the ball, but they're going backwards at the moment.
Leave it 4.
Scrum half Tanaka
Use it.
gets them going down the blind side. Carried in by Luke Thompson.
Stay on here, boys. Use it. Hands out. Hands out.
Well, the USA were checking there. It was Samoa Manoa coming in asking the question of Glenn Jackson. Reckon Palamo has been penalised as well.
Very good defence from the USA. And one thing Japan have brought to this World Cup is a detail around the breakdown. Enough numbers in, so to come through it, you've got to hit them deep and very powerfully. If you go in at the side, you're going to give a penalty away. It was scrappy. Tanaka patient at the base. Eventually gives Glenn Jackson an out to give a penalty. Poor discipline.
Keep the gap, keep the gap. Keep the gap, boys.
Japan a good few metres so far. It's a bright start by the United States, but the Japanese have hit their stride and their line out and taken down safely. But then the little spill and a chance for Lamusitele to come away, and Samoa Manoa is there. And then he loses it forward, just as Finolio tried to run onto it. But the first knock-on from Japan, so it'll be USA ball.
Just Leach, obviously still suffering from the bang he got in the try. And that is unusual unforced error, because their lineouts have been superb this World Cup. The driving mauls, the courage to throw to the back, and the commitment from all of the pack. They have scored some scintillating. What is a line-out drive? It makes it more exciting than the normal.
It's USA ball. Do you look at some of these, as a former scrum half, do you look at some of these put-ins, these feeds to the scrums now, and just wish you were still playing. It seems you can get away with anything. Palamo carrying it in there, and the double hit comes in on him. There's a forward pass before that, so it's going to be a scrum to Japan.
We also have so many TMOs now. I'm half thinking, if you looked at every put in this World Cup, I don't think there's many that are straight.
I don't understand why, when everyone is so picky about every aspect of play now, and we have TMOs for everything, that every single feed to a scrum, they don't have to be absolutely straight, they just have to have a sort of essence of straightness about them. That isn't the exact wording of the law, but they're so squint, it's just absurd.
Well, the reason it's done is because the lack of strike from the hooker. And if there's any sort of pressure on, you need to get it to the base quickly. Watch Leach here. Oh, no, sorry. Polani pick it out from his second row's feet to just get quick ball.
Good strength by Ono, the fly half as well, and Tanaka in there. We talked about them not being big men, but tremendously powerful. The second row driven back, and then carried in.
Stay on now.
There once again, and Japan once more in a threatening position. All sorts of clever angles chosen, and again the handling so sharp. Little pop pass back inside. Just looking to soften up the USA defence before finding some space.
Roll two! Stay on.
Tanaka has a look left and then right, and Ono trying to sneak through unnoticed again.
Play.
And stripped successfully by Duratalo for the United States.
Stay on.
Petri finds Ngwenya. He gives it on to Samoa Manoa, and if he can get it back to Ngwenya in the open, the flyer will be away, but it's bouncing around and back in Japanese hands. As they go into touch, there look to be a couple of knock-ons there, but it will be the line out. Ngwenya, I haven't seen too much of him in this World Cup. He lit up the World Cup. Must have been 2007, I'm trying to think, against Habana in South Africa, and it went round Habana and just left him for dead. Perhaps has lost a yard or two of pace, but it's still very, very quick. So Zach Finolio, hooker from Denver, finds his man at the back in Al McFarland, and see what the USA can do in attack. And lurking in midfield, the big beast Samoa Manoa. And McGinty flings it out wide, and Duratalo is there. Clearing out by McFarland, but then a big hit comes in on Eric Fry. Now McGinty looking for his powerful runners again. Well, given us a forward pass, I mean marginal, but it will be a scrum to Japan.
It's difficult for Petrie at 9. He's having to dig for the ball in the rucks. Clear forward pass for McGinty. He's having to dig for it because his forward runners, when they go backwards, it's difficult. This ruck becomes static. The ball placement isn't pushed back. And then you have to dig for it, and it forces McGinty to make forward passes like that.
That was Halani putting in the big thump there on Eric Fry. You say Halani, Tongan-born. Another verse to a big collision. So Japan scrum. And Fumiaki Tanaka of the Panasonic Wild Knights. That's a KN Knights, not just N. Should suggest something else, but a good drive at the scrum from Japan. But told to use it, so Halani does that and gives it on to Tanaka, nearly slipping through. Tries to offload, it went backwards, says the referee, so Leach tidies it up for Japan. There's Broadhurst. America camped in their own half of the moment. Little chip over the top from Tanaka. Too long, surely. And it's just watched all the way by Wiles, so they'll come all the way back from where that was kicked. Bit of a mistake, very experienced scrum half. We talked about him. He has played Super Rugby for the Highlanders for the last 3 years. As well, it would be difficult for Sami Manoa on Tanaka not to produce a high tackle. Tanaka 5'5", the smallest ever player in Super Rugby.
Some scrum half, such quick ball, and has the size to get the ball out as quickly as possible. And I get told many times scrum halves are running with the ball too often instead of the stand and deliver approach, which Tanaka does so well. It's also intelligent play and attack.
There's Mike Tolkien, his lustrous head of hair. And I saw Nigel Melville before kick-off, who is the chief executive of USA Rugby and has been for many years, I think going back to 2006 now. Former coach here, coach of you, Andy, when you were here at Gloucester, and former England scrum half, and he's doing great things with American rugby, but they've admitted that this campaign has been a bit of a disappointment because they need one win to hang on to and to say to the US public, this is what we can do, and get people interested in the United States. It's a fast-growing sport over there, but it really needs to catch fire. McGinty now gives it on to Threaten Palamo. One way he knows how to go. A bit of biff and through the middle. Yeah, Japanese defence watching that well enough. Duratalo. McGinty again. And on to Pinolio, their hooker.
Tackle release, 5!
On their second row, Hayden Smith took the hit. It's a penalty to the United States, though.
Release.
Not releasing in the tackle. Once the tackle is made, have to then release.
Justin Ives contesting the ball, saying to Glenn Jackson he didn't hear the referee's call, but the right decision. He was part of the tackle. They do hunt well in defence.
There he is. There's your old boss, Andy, Nigel Melville. Very good scrum half he was, and a very successful coach with Gloucester, with Wasps, and went over to the United States. Would dearly love to see the United States get a win from this World Cup. Again, the American public deal only in success. They'll follow a sport when there is success, but how do you get that success when you need to up the playing numbers and the interest in the sport? It's a catch-22 situation. Good drive here from the Americans. They really are rolling their way up, and they'll have the penalty there. The advantage is theirs. So again, a free attack here to nothing. Might try the crossfield kick. McGinty sends it up, and it's Nguyen on the far side there. How high can he leap for this one? He gets it back, nearly works for the United States, but with the little knock on, they'll come back. So often the option, the penalty advantage. So try a sort of 50-50 ball for Nguyen to use his spring heels.
And he nearly achieved it. A little tap down to Wiles. Just a bit too fired in his breadbasket. He couldn't take it, but he was a foot race away in the corner.
That's a big decision with a penalty, a very, very kickable one. and the decision. We've talked a lot about decisions made by captains, whether to take points at this World Cup, and the decision is they believe that from the line-out they can perhaps drive this one over.
Discipline, boys, discipline.
Another big one yesterday with Wales not going for the corner. Australia down to 13 men. Arguably should have taken the points.
So Finoli is to the front. And has that gone forward? Yes, it has. A little mistake from the United States. So I thought a little mistake, big mistake.
They've still got the opportunity to pressure. They've got the territory here.
Straight away.
This was sloppy. It was a planned move. And actually, it was
Duratalo trying to give it on to Samoa, wasn't it?
Luke Thompson at the front. With his big arms in the way. And
as you said, though, they can still pressurise this scrum. Although the Japanese scrum, you get some idea of their efficiency, and that even up against South Africa, they stood pretty firm. It's a very, very well-organised unit. So Tanaka.
9.
There's at least a sign of a hook there from the hooker. The scrum's gone down, but the referee might just say, let's play this. Use it, he says. All sorts of bodies upended there. I have to use it quickly. So Holani
Stay on here.
comes away with it, just buys an extra yard or two. Maybe just casually feeding it to a pocket of forwards.
Backwards.
Eventually comes back to Goromaru. And that's a good touch finder from fairly deep inside his in-goal area. Like all the sort of good kickers, he seems to operate in a sort of fairly casual air about him. He seems to have more time than he actually does. It's very easy on the ball.
the basics have just been out of this world. Japan 100% on their own scrum this whole tournament. Basics so important, but their drills have been outstanding.
So how does this United States line-up work? It doesn't really, well, sort of at the back it does now, and carried on by Samoa Manoa.
Rotate! Perfect.
And through the middle comes Duratalo. And then it's Hayden Smith. Locked forward now from Petrie. It comes to McGinty. McGinty almost sneaking through, but he goes to ground.
Stay.
So Petrie has forwards lining up outside him. This time it's to Finolio, the hooker. And then a quick pick up and drive. Just slowed down for a moment. And then it's Hayden Smith again, the second rower. And Duratalo making ground. America building well, and they have men over on the right-hand side, and direct running from Wiles. He had runners outside, and Palamo was there, and Gwenya as well. Into the forwards again. Once more battering away at the Japanese defence, hoping that space will appear out wide. Nothing there yet for Samoa Manoa, has to use his power. Now with Wiles once more. It's Seamus Kelly in support, but still there for the United States. Good Japanese defence, but a lot of hard work being done by the United States. Duratalo now picked up by Samoa Manoa, and they're getting closer, the United States. 14 phases, edging closer to that try line. Within 5 metres, striking distance now. Great play by the United States, but great defence also by Japan. Forwards have a moment and drive on themselves. Lamasatelli is in there, and it's still the forwards waiting. It's Hayden Smith once again, Samoa Manoa at his shoulder. Still the forwards go, getting ever closer. Penalty to the United States advantage. Now deep it goes from Wiles, flinging it over the top to Gwenya, who will be in, and Gwenya gets it down. Try United States, they lead here at Kingsholm. Patient play by the United States. They didn't panic, they didn't get flustered, went through all those phases, and it's Tagutwa Gwenya who gets in.
After 20 plus phases, I wanted to say, wouldn't it be lovely to actually get some space and see a missed ball into space, because he is a finisher, a born finisher. Very patient play from the USA. And a lovely, where Wiles butchered a chance before, just didn't look outside him. He knew with space his flying winger would finish for him.
Yeah, he was awarded try of the World Cup in 2007 for that effort we talked about against Brian Habana when he went round him. That was a finish at rather closer quarters for Ngwenya, but it puts the United States in front. And Alan McGinty with a chance to stretch it to 3 points. Well, difficult one for a right-footed kicker, and leaves it out there. So it's a 1-point lead, courtesy of this try, scored by Ngwenya, but again, the whole team had gone through so many phases before it found the winger. I think it might have been Goromaru trying to dive in there and pluck that one from the air.
It seemed early on there was a lack of width, but it was the floated, perfectly judged miss-pass from Wiles to Ngwenya. When you see him run into that space like that.
Wow. Oh, chance here immediately for Japan. It was plucked out of the air by Fujita and given into Inagaki, and now Japan come again through their centre. Craig Wing. And we talked about restarts and how important they are, and the United States getting that one wrong and Japan threatening almost immediately. Carried in by Justin Ives, the second rower. Tanaka gets Japan moving again.
Play,
Oh, there's a bit of a standstill there and some confusion. Once more the shout from Nippon around Kingsholm, and Tanaka looking, goes behind Broadhurst.
Take a roll!
And there is the try scorer, who bounces off a challenge. That's Ashima, and still with Japan.
Play.
Now there's Broadhurst, the open side flanker.
Roll.
So it's Japan up to within 5 metres. Leach spins. And Japan getting ever closer now. Carried on, Luke Thompson is there. But now the USA marshal the defence and punch them back a few metres. Good defensive work, but in comes the maul. Japan had success with this against Scotland, and again it's very, very efficient and driving on. They're walking towards the American line. Down it goes for a moment, but the try is given through the middle. A little splinter group. Leach is on hand, but he is not the try scorer. Who was it that broke away and got that try? It was Fujita. Yoshikazu Fujita, the winger, coming in. And this was the restart. It all came from this.
Sloppy play, and wow, that was brilliant pickup from Fujita. And it's the quick ball.
When the ball, everyone's clean. The
ball that's been so effective, perfectly hidden. And it was Fujita who started it and finished it.
Well, it's so difficult to defend against the maul, and that was perfect because it was just that little breakaway group formed with Leach and the winger Fujita. And that's an extraordinary try-scoring record that Fujita has. He's a big, powerful winger, and on his 28th cap, that is his 26th try. And Goromaru adds the extras, so no sooner had USA got themselves in front than Japan, from that restart, score. And some of his tries, I would say not to belittle his try-scoring record, have come against the likes of the United Arab Emirates and Philippines and Hong Kong, but here in a World Cup against the United States, and fitting that he started and finished the move.
And the difference in the two teams at the moment in attack is that speed of ball. The USA did score a very nice try, but lack of speed, very slow in the rucks. Japan,
carry back, stay here,
Tanaka,
forward,
who
stop,
gets it cleared very quickly.
The clearing kick finds the fullback and the captain, Wiles.
tackle, leave!
Up full ramming speed before being taken down by Broadhurst. Deep to McGinty, who threatened Palamo. Ngwenya. No room from there to use his flying feet. Petrie gives it out to
Roll now,
Smith.
tackle.
Here's McGinty again. Delivers that short, flat pass to Samoa. Now McGinty again, carried on by Finolio. Big collisions there in defence from Holani. Hayden Smith again.
Roll tackle.
Australian-born second row. He's done plenty of donkey work. And McGinty decides to chip this one through. Rather ugly one, but it's scooped up by Tanaka, and Tanaka chasing his own kick down. Test calls the mark.
Mark there, back 9. Back.
And the sevens player, scoring ever sevens player for the United States, Zach Test, clears. The United States are getting ready to make a replacement.
Time off.
It'll be Cam Dolan coming on. Cam Dolan, who
4.
plays in the second row. And he's coming on for, we talked about the amount of work that Hayden Smith had been doing. Well, Smith must be carrying an injury. He wouldn't make a replacement. I haven't seen Hayden Smith been very busy around the park. But Cam Dolan is on.
Yeah, I won't penalise you.
A strange time after half an hour for a replacement to happen. Must be an injury involved.
Hold. Over.
I confirm it is an injury. Didn't look the straightest line out, but it's fine, says the referee, as Japan come again, and Craig Wing is there in midfield. Strong work by Inagaki, loose head prop. And Tanaka gives it to Leach. And the advantage
Penalty
for
advantage.
Japan as well. So penalty coming for them.
Play advantage.
Tanaka to Ono. Ono. Still Japanese advantage. And then as the USA strip it and steal it, they will come back for that penalty.
Offside. 5.
It was offside, United States. And the man infringing was Greg Peterson. So it should be a proper goal for Goramaru.
Shot.
It's beautiful to watch Japan in full flight. The confidence that they have. I mean, Carlos Holani at the line-out that delivered the scrum half pass. It looked like it was going to be a drive with the number 8 at the scrum half position, and they've got so much skill in this team. The precision of their passing, simple running lines, and what USA struggled with in that last facet of play was they have to work so hard to get depth and run backwards because they're just not getting over the gain line, especially in the mid part of the pitch.
Yeah. The one time it did stop, that's why I said use it. So.
Ayumu Goramaru has already gone past Matt Gito on the all-time international scoring charts. He was in 695 before this match. He was past 700 as well. 13th on the all-time list. Johnny Wilkinson still out in front. Oh, it's Dan Carter now, isn't it? And the Gomez was nodding, helping me out. So Goramaru once again. Well, Goramaru did not listen to one clown who shouted miss it, and the otherwise silent Kingso, and Japan's lead is extended. 7 minutes to go in this first half. Beautiful strike as well, you could hear it. Plenty of distance on it, just inside the upright.
Nice 3-wood.
It's like fade. The restart is long, and taking it down is Holani, Tongan-born number 8, most cap number 8 ever for Japan.
Inside.
He was a youngster to Japan to study and stayed. Wiles watching this all the way, might take a quick one.
Much better. Superb distance. Remember the scrum, the 5-metre scrum where Japan played out and Goramaru didn't get the distance and they scored from that line out, but that time, look at the distance he's got, takes massive pressure off, and Japan now can threaten the worst line out in this competition.
That was a huge clearing kick. Finolio, this time it works well through Al McFarland, and up it goes from McGinty. That's a little bit too much length on it. Goramaru fields it comfortably enough. Threaten Palamo gets to him. Good work by the second row for Japan, Luke Thompson.
I'm happy. Arriving player.
Referee says he's happy with that stripping by the United States. So McFarlane gives it on to Petrie, who's then absolutely thumped in the challenge, and Japan will get the scrum.
Anyone down.
That is just horrible when you're trying to step out and you're in reverse, and then suddenly you've got
18 stone of Tongan Japanese around you.
It's just horrible. There's a good contest at the breakdown, and it's just a loose. You will not be thanking him, Petrie.
Well,
it's just horrible.
Could have been nasty that one, actually, didn't it? He slipped down as Holani's giant knees were bearing down on him. But he's fine. He's a published children's author, Mike Petrie.
Crouch.
Written a children's book called R is for Rugby.
Bind.
It's not the most complex book, I've read it.
Sit.
It isn't much of a plot line. It's good, beautifully illustrated. Japan's scrum again, steady as a rock. In fact, just got a bit of a nudge on there before it went down in the front row. But again, Glenn Jackson's happy. It says play on. Little chip for Matsushima to chase down. Well picked up there as the bouncing end over end. Wiles. Petrie has a look under pressure again. Duratalo, very powerful open side flanker, carrying Japanese defenders with him.
Ripped out. Ripped out.
McGinty gives it deep to Wiles.
19, stop, 19.
Tries to put some distance on it. Good communication at the back there.
Stay one.
It was Ono, the fly half. Galloped a bit and then gives the ball back to Wiles. Now McGinty. A kicking contest at the moment. Taken in by the winger Fujita and given on to Goromaru. And Japan make good ground there. Luke Thompson did his bit again in the second row.
Ball's there, stay on.
And decent clearing out. Just slows down for a moment though, this Japanese attack. And the hands this time let Japan down. And it's picked up by Duratalo. It's flung so deep. They almost give up all that ground that they've made, the United States, and it's kicked through. Nicely directed, but Leach is there. And this is dangerous, Leach. Flinging it around. Goromaru trying to evade the tackles. United States up there trying to create havoc, and Japan in all sorts of trouble here, and this will be a 5-metre scrum to the United States. And Japan, well, they have great handling and great speed, but perhaps the better advice there would be simply clear it.
It was the width from Petrie's pass to Wiles. Not a lot on, so just put the testing grubber through and make them play from deep. But you have to chase well. It was a good tackle from Test. And they will, with not long till half-time, just to convert this pressure into some sort of points. And give them the confidence, and they can work on speed of ball at half-time.
Yes, big moments here. Just over 2 minutes to go in this first half. What a chance for the United States. 9 points adrift at the moment. Both scrums have been buckling in the front row so far. And Japan get the squeeze on there, and down goes the front row. What's the decision from Glenn Jackson? We'll just do it again.
Stay down.
So difficult for not many ex-players who are referees, and obviously players from the front row themselves. They're not so nimble on their feet and able to get around. So difficult one for a former fly-half fullback to read. They do a great deal of studying.
When he played fly-half, and I had a couple of games with him, he did referee the scrums back then, so he knows what he's talking about, and he's a fantastic communicator.
So Glenn Jackson on that far side now, and Petrie gets ready to feed. The USA want this to stay up. They want to try and drive it on, but Japan are working hard here. USA under pressure, so Samu Manoa picks it up and drives on himself. Good work by the big number 8. USA look to be a little bit underpowered in the scrum, but they still have a chance here. Fierce Japanese defending on Peterson. The lock forward tries to get it to ground. The USA have to get this back, and they may have lost it. They have. So they could not get it to ground, so the ball is lost. Great defense by Japan, but I think USA's final opportunity in this first half has slipped away.
Japan's defence has been courageous. They throw numbers into the breakdown and clog it up. Petri having to dig for it. And then consequently, they lose momentum and the speed of the ball carry. And that was a really good chance for the USA just before half-time.
Well, Michael Leach has been looking at the clock, and the captain is well aware for Japan that there are just 20 seconds to go, and this, if they secure this ball, will be the final action of this first half.
Bind!
Eddie Jones counting the seconds on his fingers. And Tanaka with a feed. So Japan, they are slipping now, being put under pressure, but then they steady things, and this will be claims. They have the penalty anyway, but they may just say that's enough, we'll just pop it out.
Timely scrum.
Initially thought USA had a bit of a push on, but then the secondary drive came from Japan, and that really is an area of real ascendancy for Japan in this game, and that is the final action of this first half. And Japan in a good position, looking for their third win in this World Cup. Unprecedented third win in a World Cup, an achievement that would be. And they lead at Kingsholm against Japan 17, the United States 8. So from Kingsholm Stadium in Gloucester in the southwest of England, it is United States against Japan, the final pool match in this World Cup, and the United States trail 17-8 at half-time. And we are ready to go in this second half. Taken in by Wiles for the United States. Can they recover and scramble their way back into this game in this second half? Into the shed. This low terracing here at Kingsholm. Looked to be the straightest throw from Japan. Luke Thompson took it down though. And Japan with a chance to attack. Winger coming in Fujita. And Tanaka gives it on to Leach. Dips that shoulder and drives on. Tanaka once again skipping around, and Ono. Now the advantage there for Japan. They're coming up straight offside.
Advantage.
Still advantage. And strong work by Tatekawa.
No, tackle only, so still playing advantage.
Still with Japan. And still their advantage, and Leach held there, but
stay on.
All the while playing advantage, so a crossfield kick, and it might work well for Matsushima, but it goes to Gwengi instead, so the whistle will sound offside, and back they will come. It was that offside infringement. And the man offside, I think it might have been Zach Finolio, the hooker.
What impresses me is that the lines of running from Japan. Slight confusion.
There were 2 offsides there, and there's quite a few in the first half.
Has his footwork to get himself out of trouble, but you can't help but think it's the massive influence of Eddie Jones and the style in which he brings the lines of running. When there's slow ball, he has unbelievable coaching skills with the lines, and these guys run hard and straight, but they also run across the defenders. Rather than running out, they run against them.
So Goramaru is going to kick for goal. It's interesting doing an overall count on points. So this will take, if this goes over, this will take the total points scored at this World Cup to over 2,000 points. I'm doing the math, so this is for the 40th game. So it's 50 points a game? Is it 50 points? It is, if my maths is right. It seems quite high, 50 points a game.
Well, before this game, the USA conceded 43 on average.
So here, Goramaru, the start of the second half to extend Japan's lead. As if in prayer. is good, and past 2,000 points we go in the 2015 World Cup, and Goromaru is closing in, I think, and becoming the leading scorer in this World Cup. May have passed that, in fact. I'll delve into my record books here. I have the stats close at hand. Anyway, Japan lead 20 points to 8, and that's a big lead for the USA to try and overcome, and at the moment they don't look as if they have that in them, the United States.
More!
Taken down by
Keep going forward,
Thompson.
this one.
Big drive off the back by the replacement Maffey. We knew he'd do that. Tremendously powerful
here,
figure, and back
stop.
it goes to Goromaru with a lazy swipe of the boot. Finds his opposite number in Wiles. And Wiles thinks he sees a little bit of space over there, and left initially. And then the clearance just finds touch, and no thoughts of the quick line out there. Goromaru again. He really does seem to do everything almost in slow motion. Never hurried.
He's such a cool customer. It's unbelievable. And look at the depth of kick he's got from there. Good kick from Wiles. Good riposte, but shades of Ludovic Mercier when we played with him in front of the shed. What a talent with the boot he was.
Wrong
Into
tackle.
contact by the United States. Get a bit more direction to their play. McGinty sends it high. This one rather better placed. Goromaru just ambles forward onto that, takes it down. Japan once again a chance to attack, but this one ends in a penalty to the United States, holding onto the ball on the tackle. And the man down injured, looks as if it's Matsushima, their winger. He's back in the land of the living, clutching his shoulder.
Come off.
In such a good position to contest.
Can you just move it to the side, please?
No Japan players to support to clean him out. A good decision from Glenn Jackson.
Come on.
South African-born Matsushima played age group rugby in South Africa. And a firm part of this Japanese setup now in the USA. That's a good touch finder. We'll give them the line out. Only 10 metres or so out from the Japanese line. But the line out has to start functioning. Finolio goes to the middle, and Peterson taken down well.
Over.
And can the USA find this driving well? Samu Manoa has it at the back.
That's 1-9.
Duratalo's in there as well, just crabbing infield a bit at the moment.
9, use it now.
I'm told to use it. Samu Manoa has it on his own, but he's punched back behind the gain line there. And the ball goes loose, diving upon it. Peterson getting down there. Picked up by Fry. And Eric Fry, that blonde prop, gets it laid back. Still with the forwards. Still not making too much ground. Stout defence by Japan.
Stay on here.
All slows down. Given behind the forwards to McGinty. McGinty trying to find Palamo, but lost forward. And Japan not too worried. They know the knock-on was there, and they have the scrum. Just not quite the same tidiness with the American attack as there has been with the Japanese.
Yeah, it's down to the precision. Palamo just taking his eyes off the ball to check where the defender was to see if it was on. And poor timing of pass from McGinty, but good setup in their set piece at the line out. It was Broadhurst really being a pain and stopping that. So Manoa had to split off.
Crouch.
As you say, Andre, it's the precision that's lacking in the Americans' game.
With a scrum as well for
We've
Japan.
had no issue. We've had no issue in the first half, and I was reasonably happy.
They've got some class operators in there. You see the long hair of Inagaki on the loose head on the far side as we look at it there for Japan. Well, he played for Melbourne Rebels earlier this year, as did Shota Horia, the hooker. And Yamashita plays for Comelco Steelers.
Crouch.
Is very, very experienced and great technique.
Fine.
They've looked utterly solid in the scrum so far, Japan. Again, the feed goes in almost at right angles. And this time America get the shove on. Now how will this finish? Will Japan come away with it and try and scuttle out of their own 22?
Stay on, stay on.
First time the Japanese scrum has looked in a bit of trouble. Goromaru. Again, it's a very good touch finder again. Almost over the shed.
Seriously impressed. And he had a couple of players charging him down. He's just unflappable. He's incredible composure. Just turned to the side and stuck it into the shed and said, let's take a line out, relieve the pressure.
Japan, what number? 11. Okay.
The change coming on for Japan. And it'll be...
Come on.
That's Hesketh coming on. Khan Hesketh. New Zealand born back, and he's coming on from Matsushima. There's a head injury assessment that Matsushima is going to have at the just off the pitch. So he may be back on Matsushima. Threaten Palamo gives it to Samu Manoa. McGinty. That's a nicely timed pass out, and Wiles gives it on. Zach Test is there.
Stay on.
There's Samu Manoa again, but as he takes the hit, he flings the ball back to nobody in particular, but it's scooped up by Cam Dolan. Threaten Palamo.
Get back, get back.
So McGinty again, and then on to Durutalo.
Release 18!
5 phase. He's not a huge amount of ground made yet by the United States. McGinty gives it to Ngwenya, and Ngwenya just hasn't had the open space. Does well though to get it to Palamo.
Yeah, got it.
So into the 22.
Knock on only.
Good work by Titi Lamositelli. He scored a try against Scotland.
Advantage over.
On the spill, just as the referee said, advantage over. Well, he's still giving the...
Knock on red in the tackle.
Well, he'd said advantage over
I
then Jackson, but he sort of changed his mind just as Simon Manoa spilled it, because he's given the scrum to the United States for that earlier knock-on.
No, I wonder whatever it is.
Sympathetic to
Back here,
plight of the USA attack.
Back a bit. Yeah, here's the mark.
Again, it's Ngwenya that creates the danger out in the wide channels, supported by Palamo.
Well, there are a couple of players, Andy, in the United States side who are class operators. It's perhaps just not that consistency across the side. Threaten Palamo, who played for Saracens in England and now is playing for London Welsh on loan, always looks dangerous when he gets a good pass to run onto.
So important to have a playmaking running 12.
Keep still. You need to find a bond.
Does provide the USA with that, but he needs to
keep it still out there.
really be more hungry for the ball. And
there's a lot of there's body language being used, sign language and gestures. Glenn Jackson, New Zealand referee, and the tight head for Japan, Yamashita, is making themselves understood, sort of.
Sit.
Zach Finolu chuckling away at it all, the American hooker. Scrum under a bit of pressure for the United States, but Simon Manoa got it away to McGinty, and then Ngwenya coming in off the wing. And that's quicker ball for the United States to play with. They didn't get this out for Wiles, finds his man. Zach Test is there, that very quickly 3 Japanese defenders all over him. Still there for Petrie. Samu Manoa does his bit again. Then carried in by Lamositelli. McGinty. Flatter ball to
tackle!
Blindside flanker McFarland. McGinty. And it's gone loose and fly. It went backwards, so the prop forward gathers it in. And there are men out wide if they can get it there. Just couldn't quite find the offloads, and a little knock forward spares Japan on this occasion. Better play from the United States, but Japanese defence up to it at the moment.
So frustrating for Mike Tolkien. They have had some opportunities in the 22. I think it was Luke Thompson that got a hand in there. They have had the opportunities, but the difference in Tolkien's side over Jones's is taking those opportunities, precision in the red zone. So from inside the 22, putting the pressure on, patience in attack. The skill set just hasn't been there this evening for the USA.
So Tanaka to feed the scrum. And it goes almost to the number 8. Picked up. Well, the number 8 is now the number 20, of course, and Maffey.
Stay on now, Blue, stay on. Stay on.
Tanaka just a little look before giving it out to Thompson is there, the second rower. But America have the penalty. A decision here, 12 points adrift. Immediately you can see a few players pointing to the corner, saying we fancy our chances here. But they're going to, I think, do the sensible thing and get some points on the board.
What Japan do is clear their lines well. And Tanaka wants to get his forwards, play out, put them in a position so to make the angle for the kick better for Goromaru, but on that occasion just sloppy cleaning out at the ruck. Good defence from the United States. Just chip away at the scoreboard.
Yes, you wouldn't want to have all this pressure in territory, which the USA have had for a good 5-10 minutes, and not to take any points from it at all. So Alan McGinty will step up and try and deliver 3. Sweetly struck and through it goes. 15 minutes gone in the second half, and USA back within 9 points.
Just need some sort of spark in this game to really ignite it. It has given us snippets of opportunity of a bucket full of tries, but both teams just in the last 5 minutes been very cautious.
Harumichi Tatekawa, the outside centre, with the restart, and well taken down by the United States. There's Peterson, second row, gives it to Fly, and then it's lost, and no real danger for the United States. They have to scramble their defence. So Japan with the attack through the middle. Tatekawa's there again, the outside centre, carried on. Ives was there. A little knock on though, and the United States can breathe for a moment, just being held at the back. In comes McFarland, blindside flanker, but then Petrie is there, the scrum half. And McGinty, under tremendous pressure, has done very, very well.
Yeah, good clearance kick, good pressure at the breakdown again. Opportunity for Japan.
So Matsushima's coming back on after that head impact assessment, head injury assessment, and so Hesketh is off. Matsushima has obviously answered the questions satisfactorily at the side of the pitch. Hesketh will, I'm sure he'll be back on later, but can go and take a break for a moment. The possession that United States have had in this second half, the advantage they've had, and they've stolen the line out, which is a rare victory for them in that department, as Samu Manoa goes to ground. Petrie to McGinty.
Carry back, little
step which didn't fool too many people. Matsushima back on the field, and a chance for him to gallop forward.
Backwards, off the foot play.
Breton Palamo ties it up for America, and a chance, a real opportunity now. They can get it to the flyer, and Ngwenya might be away, and he just couldn't get there. And if the pass had perhaps been given just a fraction earlier to Ngwenya when there was real space open in front of him, he would have been in.
A couple of times on turnovers. I just wish they could have got him the ball quicker. And that is unbelievable defence from Maffei. Look at the determination on his face.
Oh, I mean, Maffei's been struggling with that hip injury since the Scotland game there, and that would test it out there, but he had to make it because Ngwenya just needs one chance and he's gone. Just thought there was a slightly delayed pass to him. Wonderful at the back from Broadhurst for Japan now. And was that the moment that the USA needed as we head towards the final quarter of this match? The ball might have gone forward there, but the referee says it's fine. It's Japan. And when the ball is fast, fine, says the referee, so it's carried on now. No penalty to Japan. He had a little think about it, Glenn Jackson, just as it was Cam Dolan who was galloping forward, thinking he was through.
It's offside.
You see the big hand coming in.
Is it number 1, is it? Okay. Number 1? Number 1. So.
Can't tell you how annoying that is when you're a scrum half.
And in terms of legality of it, Andy, you see the big hand coming in from Fry.
Go. Yep,
Not allowed to touch the scrum half.
That's just your own personal wish that scrum halves are sacrosanct. For Japan, coming on, must attack on Mikami. Comes on the front row for Keita Inagaki. So Mikami of the Toshiba Brave Lookers. Great names, the Japanese clubs. That was real danger for Japan, but they seem to have ridden that particular danger, and Leach now gives it on, and good play again from the winger Fujita. And once more it's the American defence being tested, carried in there by Broadhurst. And Leach. And now Japan putting together the phases, and Wing carries it in the centre. Lots of decoy runners, dummy runners for Japan. Hard to defend, and Leach again. USA having to shore up their defence. Tanaka looking for it, seeing what's available. Both sides, but it's all to his right now. Still with Japan, the ball rather loose, but picked up well. USA trying to hold them up in the tackle, but they'll come back. There was a penalty, and there's going to be a card here. And it's for Fry, the prop. Is off Eric Fry. And so the USA are going to be down to 14 men for the next 10 minutes, and their chances in this match are slipping away.
Penalty, kicking the ball on the ground.
Good refereeing, right decision.
Oh, silly, silly, silly penalty to give away. Very obvious and right in front of the ref, Andy.
Not on his feet, very cynical. And that might be the opportunity now. Japan to go for it. Really put this out of USA sights. They're going to go for the corner. Looks like they are.
Well, looking to put the squeeze on the United States with them missing a rather hefty presence in the front row as well. So into the corner they go.
Make sure they come down.
As we head into the final quarter of this match. So secure the ball here at the line out, and the USA defence will be sorely tested. Missing a man. Safely taken down. The USA initially choose not to engage, and then they rather miss their mark on it. It's going to be a try. It's so simple for Japan. And it looks like it's Maffei, the replacement, crashing on through. But the USA defence splintered and disappeared. And it was the replacement, number 8, Amanaki Maffei, who scores again, second try in this World Cup, and it came so easily.
Shift drive, changed the point of attack, confused the USA, very smart tactics, and Maffei's just so powerful. He decides to splinter off from his advancing group of pack and players, and there he goes
Well, he scored against Scotland and then was injured, and that was here at Kingsholm. And he has scored again, Mafi. And Japan are moving away with this game now. The Yuma Goromaru, who's kicked 4 from 4. Mentioned he's moved on to 705 points. Actually, the next man in his sights overall will be Gavin Hastings, great Scottish and Lions fullback. He's in 733. He's got a bit of a cushion at the moment, so I'm not sure Goromaru is going to find another 28 points tonight. But he may well find another 2 here. But he hasn't. Still, though, Japan have another try.
Okay.
And you know, a bonus point, even though it means nothing in terms of qualification for Japan. I'm sure they'd still be looking for that. And Mafi, that great power. Wonderful player he is, Manaki Mafi. He's the 15th of 16 brothers, Andy. This is a sizable family. Actually played for Tonga in the 2009 Junior World Cup and was part of the Tonga squad last year, but chose to throw his allegiance to Japan in decision. But here he is in the World Cup and scoring a couple of tries. And there is Mafi again. Look at the strength of the man, bouncing off Petrie. Thinking about writing another children's book, the angry Tongan Japanese #8. And Japan again, just beginning to pick up the pace again here. A little bit loose there, but Goromaru. And sees a bit of space, and Goromaru so nearly through.
Stay on, get back!
And
back.
Japan looking to cut loose now, looking for that 4th try, and Leach, their captain.
Lost! Leave it now!
Still with Japan. A couple more changes are on the field. Japan have replaced their scrum half, so Hiwasa is on. And the USA have made a couple of changes as well. As Justin Ives comes forward for Japan. We've got Danny Barrett is on in the back row. You see him there, long hair under the scrum cap. And they've replaced their hooker as well. Phil Teal is on for Zach Finolio. Loose pass, now who can get their hands on this?
Backwards.
Nobody initially, but Kelly did well. McGinty's kick half charge down, and a chance now for Japan to come again. And once more, USA
Leave it now, Blue,
desperately trying to reset their defence. Japan looking for quick hands to release men down the blind side. There's Goromaru coming into the line.
Roll now, Blue!
Given on to their hooker, Horia. And carried once more by Luke Thompson.
No, play. Regather,
Playing with a great pace now, but also purpose. Atakiyama, a replacement front rower, lays it back. And Mikami, another replacement prop, picks and goes. And they are getting closer. 8th phase now into Matsushima. Samu Manoa has crumpled his man in a heap there. The Japan attacking with 14 men at the moment. It was Ono, the fly half, who felt the force of Samu Manoa. And he's still down, Ono. He tried to get back to his feet, but he's in real discomfort. The Japan missing their playmaker.
Stay on!
And Samu Manoa has done a job on Ono, who's clutching his arm, trying to get back in the line, but Ono is really struggling, and the ball comes out his way now. Matsushima, Ono trying to play his part, but he looks a broken man. Matsushima, though, does very well, cuts inside and still going for Japan. The great play by the Break Blossoms. 13 phases.
Damage over!
And still they come, looking for the 4th try. Leach waiting in the fly-half position. It goes to the captain now. He drives his way on to within 5 metres.
Stay.
Mafi, no way through this time, but has a bit of help and support from Mikami.
Stay on!
Well, half fumble by a scrum half, but not a problem. And through the middle they come once again, still going. but still
Right,
held
turnover.
just 5 metres out. Stripped as well and stolen. McGinty has it.
Stay on,
The
Reed.
USA, after all those Japanese attacks, will manage to clear their lines through their captain Wiles. Just about finds the sanctuary of the shed, but Ono, the fly half, is still down, and he's down because of this hit that came in on him from Sam Manoa, just lined him up. It's perfectly fair, it's perfectly good, it's perfectly painful for Ono.
Yep.
Arms were used, everything was textbook, Andy.
Just to let you know.
It was. And Japan really could have done with the extra man in that attack. Plucky defense from the USA. They're really rushing at Maffei because he's so strong and carries and takes defenders with him. They just get in his face and try and rush him.
Shinya Maccabi is on and has come on for Justin Ives in the second row. I think Samu Manoa enjoyed that though. The USA are trailing by 14 points, but it was one small and brutally inflicted victory on Kosiano. Kosiano were playing on though, he's waiting out in the wing here. I think he's hiding out in the wing. Japan still attack. Kosiano he's left someone else to go in and play fly-half. Matsushima has gone in just about to the fly-half position. Maffei and Peterson having a bit of a disagreement. And Japan, great work on the driving maul, keeping it up and keeping it moving. And the USA again in all sorts of trouble here. And again, it's just smuggled off to a little breakaway group.
Stay on. Use it!
The replacement scrum half, Hiwasa, looking at what's available to him. And Mikami, the prop forward.
Release!
Leach has to come in himself and give it on to Broadhurst.
Roll now!
Another New Zealander turned Japanese player. Hiwasa again looks at all his runners. And Japan making ground once again. And coming through is Duratalo there. Wonderful play by the flanker. And now perhaps a little bit of an opportunity for the United States, but too much ground made by Kelly. In comes Petrie and Peterson. And USA forwards look to inflict a little bit of punishment of their own. Threaten Palamo now, a bit of space for the United States back in Palamo, almost free. Hair flies and he's still going.
Release!
There's 10 minutes to go here in this match at Kingsholm. Oh, and wonderful work by Test. Zach Test goes to ground, but USA suddenly making great ground here. And Palamo, no it's not, it's in fact the back row, Barman is on. Danny Barrett rather, carrying it forward and 15 metres out, and they've gone from end to end, and they have the penalty advantage as well. Great charge by Barrett, chip through, a chance for Test to get there, but cannot quite, the penalty advantage. Test is celebrating, saying he got the touchdown, but they're not even going to look at it, so it's a quick take by Petrie, and a chance again. Lamositelli, the prop forward for the United States. USA attacking with 14 men, remember. Eric Fry, their prop forward, is off. Right, it comes to Peterson. A try here, and they'll be back in this game. 2 converted tries behind at the moment. Petrie pointing the way. Gives it on to Cam Dolan. And Dolan stays up for a moment and then lumbers forward. Samu Manoa. USA getting closer now. Good drive forward. Duratalo was there. Dolan having a look again. Cam Dolan trying to reach over the top of everybody. They need to get this down. Ball is there for them. Petrie goes deep to the backs now. Huge flung pass. It's going to be a try. It's Wiles, the captain. Try, United States. Hope for the United States in this match. They'll need the conversion, but they have a chink of light here. Just a glimmer of hope.
It took the States long enough to find the space. Beautiful pass from McGinty to Wiles. Really, they should have brave tackle from Ono deep. in USA's half, and he is in pain. If they'd have just attacked his area, they would have scored much earlier on.
Yes, they're looking to make a change. Japan bringing on Hendrik Tui. He's a back rower, but it might be cover for Ono. But this is a big conversion for Al McGinty. And it is good. So the USA are back within a converted try of Japan with 8 minutes to go. And again, it was patient build-up. And then the overlap was there, and it was spotted by McGinty. Flung to his captain, who was able to saunter in.
Perfection. Every halfback just loves the opportunity to throw a wide ball, but that was the right option.
And they did it as well with this man off in the bin, who is back on now. So they did well with 14 men there. More substitutions. Saw Hesketh just out of the left a shot there. He's come back on. And also for Japan, you've got Hendrik Tui, who you saw there, is on. Tui's on for Broadhurst in the back row.
Inside.
And Ono is off, and that is why Hesketh was back on, because Ono is a broken man after that challenge from Samoa Manoa. 7 points in it.
Stay on here, forward,
The
stop.
United States will take huge encouragement from that last passage of play. They were up against it, and they really just rolled down the pitch because they were deep within their own 22, and Mike Tolkien, a few instructions to get down to his players, so
Blue
to
line.
Eddie Jones.
Blue line, Jaws, open up.
One of the suggestions would be in this line-out, get as many line-out jumpers up as possible.
Oh.
No one goes up.
There's a wing in the midfield for Japan. Good strength through the midfield, keeping those legs pumping. There's Mafi, gives it on to replacement Clark Hatakiyama.
Stay on.
Still with Japan.
Leave it, rack.
Hiwasa, the replacement scrum half, trying to dig it out of there. Gives it on to his second row, Shinya Maccabi. And big hits coming in on Hendrik Tui. There's Mafi, and he's met by Samoa Manoa.
One out, one out.
They play with a good deal of zip and pace, the Japanese. And wing. 7 phases.
Ball, 13, get out.
They decide a few mistakes, the Japanese, and they have the penalty advantage, and that's a big decision. They might be able to pop over this penalty and move them beyond a converted try clear.
You came in the side.
So I'm sure that Konomaru will stroll forward and take his shot at goal. USA coming in at the side, the infringement.
Shot.
Easy decision. Win the game first.
So Ayumu Goromaru for a chance to perhaps move this beyond the reach of the United States, with, by the time he takes the kick, there'll be 4 minutes left in the game.
40 seconds, man.
Just taking a moment to himself. Lined it up. Seam aiming at the posts. There's so many different styles of placing the ball for place kicks. Some of them would point it right forward. He prefers just a 10-degree angle or so. And then he will near enough clasp his hands. It was Johnny Wilkinson who started this. And go into his by now familiar routine. He's already picking up the tee. Always a sign from the kicker that they know it has been sweetly struck, and through it goes. 4 minutes to go, and the lead is back to 10 points. And Japan, it seems, heading for their 3rd victory as the USA make another change.
2.
And on comes John Quill.
2.
And Japan making a change as well and bringing on their replacement hooker. Takeshi Kizu is coming on for Shota Horia. And John Quill is on for Peterson in the second row for the United States. Simon Manoa manages to gather the restart for the USA, and Duratalo,
Ripped out.
a busy game he's had, was loose but still there with the United States and laid back well.
Stay on.
And straight into the action, John Quill. Man originally from Cork in Southwest Ireland. Usually plays back row, but into the second row he's gone. Ngwenya. Well, Matsushima well aware of his danger and got very quickly to him. Petrie gives it on to Danny Barrett. Oh, great sevens experience, Barrett. And Test. The winger gives it to the prop, Fry. And he makes good ground. But time is running out for the United States. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining. 10 points the difference. They need to score, and they need to score now. Threaten Palamo. In the outside centre, Seamus Kelly gives it on to Duratalo and Ngwenya. Threaten Palamo. Palamo decides to go himself, and huge collision as he charged into the replacement prop, Hatakiyama. Phil Teal is on hooker for USA now, gets it laid back. Advantage for the United States. 8 phases, but again, the Japanese defence, blitz defence, up so quickly. And just 2 minutes remaining. Lamusiteli. That defence is up a little bit too sharply for Japan. Advantage to the USA. Penalty is there. Quickly taken. Wiles, the captain, carrying it in. There is McGinty. Onto Samu Manoa. Last chance, perhaps, for the USA to take something. McGinty, lovely offload, but Quill it was who dropped it. Irishman to Irishman, and now a chance for Japan to counter. And Threaten Palamo has to get back there. The danger from Karn Hesketh. Picked up now by Henrik Tui. Japan just looking to close out this game, but penalty to the USA. They'll want that ball quickly. And Danny Barrett after it. So Duratalo taps and goes. No one going with them. Duratalo on his own. USA beginning to look just a little bit tired. Good hands from Barry. Looked for someone outside him, did Seamus Kelly, but there's nobody there. Driven back in the tackle. And Japan have turned it over and have killed off this game now. Leach. And fitting perhaps as the seconds tick away that Japan, who started their campaign with that great victory, that famous win, one of the most celebrated wins in all of World Cup history against South Africa, fitting that they should finish with ball in hand. And Mafi, who's been a power for them, drives on. Japan have the advantage. Good work by their second row, Maccabi. Still there on the offload, not quite able to get it away, Tatekawa, but still with Japan. The clock about to go red, final passage of play. Can they finish with another try? Can they find a fourth? No, they say enough is enough. We have done enough in this World Cup. We have won again. Gonamaru sends it out. His points have contributed hugely to Japan's success. But they have beaten South Africa, they have beaten Samoa, and tonight at Kingsholm, in the final pool match in this World Cup, they have beaten the United States. 3 wins for Japan in this World Cup. They don't go through. They will not win again in this World Cup, but they have won so many friends, and they've achieved so much in this World Cup. Victory for Japan over the United States at Kingsholm by 28 points to 18.